Hello, everyone. We have a word from our sponsor, so sit tight and we'll get to the cast. This summer has a high record heat. Walking outside has been rough. I personally walk outside and work outside for a living, and it has been rough out there this year. But one of the best ways I keep hydrated is with Liquid IV. You just rip a packet, add it to water, and drink it down. I personally like the watermelon flavor because it is actually really good compared to a lot of the sports drink I had, and it's not too sweet, which is nice. Another thing that's really nice about it is 3 times more electrolytes, which I always seem to be struggling, especially in this heat. So 3 times more is very noticeable on those hot days. So you can get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code NERDBS at checkout. That's 20% off anything you order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code NERDBS at liquidiv.com. Remember, all lowercase, and thank you for listening. And now let's move to the cast. Hello and welcome to another episode of Nerd BS. I'm Alan and I'm joined by Kyle and Tomas. How are you, or how has your last 2 weeks gone? Why did I do that? That was weird. That I did a little raise there. What about you, Tomas?
Well, I mean, Kyle, were you done? I don't know if you were done. Were you done?
I'm done.
All right.
He's done with your shenanigans. Keep going.
My week, you know, it's been a week. It could have been worse.
A whole 7 days.
Could have been better. Oh wait, no. Sorry, I've got focused on the weekend. The weekend's just focused on.
I mean, that is part of the week, and you know, in theory.
It's been a pretty good week, except for this weekend was pretty stressful. So.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Anything of note? Is it all the games that are coming out is stressing you out this month? Is it giving you hives?
No, actually, I've been just playing Baldur's Gate on my downtime. Second playthrough.
You bring up Baldur's Gate, and I'm going to go on a small tangent here.
Oh boy.
I have a conspiracy theory, and I don't know if either of you have noticed this. Let me ask you this question. Okay, you guys may not have as many issues with internet and downloading and yada, yada, yada. But have either of you noticed, specifically you because you downloaded it recently, maybe you didn't watch it, that downloading non-AAA games, at least on the PlayStation 5, is slower and a little bit more fickle than downloading AAA titles?
I would have
no difference.
I would have to check that out. I feel like both Diablo and Baldur's Gate took like 2 hours, but
dang.
Well, that was 2 hours for the complete game. You know how it's like only 20 minutes for like the first little play, and then you play those first 20 minutes and it slows the game down so much it didn't finish downloading it? Yeah.
I do it the day before. I can't even mess around with it anymore.
Yeah.
I just like do it and I'll come back tomorrow. So
that day before stuff has thrown me off. Like I don't remember what game it was, but I got a game and I woke up one morning and I walked out.
Are you talking about the pre-downloading? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, like
I think Kyle was like, he plans ahead and he downloads the game the day before and then he'll play it the next day. Am I wrong, Kyle? Or are you talking about the pre-download?
No, that's you're right. That's what I'm talking about.
I think someone's talking about the pre-download.
Yeah, the pre-download throws me off.
I think I did one pre-download, but it was for Blasphemous 2, which is a relatively small game.
Yeah.
And by the time I played it, it was already been out a week, so it was just sitting there waiting. But I haven't noticed anything because I just can't even look at it, dude. I just start it and I come back later.
So I monitor this stuff quite a bit because that's how I do a lot of things with technology in particular. And for the most part, I've downloaded quite a few games on my internet. For those who don't know, I'm on a Verizon wireless internet, if you'd call it. It's like your cell service in a way. And for the most part, I don't usually have that many issues. My internet is roughly 50 megs down and 2 to 5, depending on the day, up. So it's not great, but it's not terrible either. And for the most part, especially with AAA titles, I never have any issues with downloading problems. And I can usually just set it on, put it in rest mode, and it takes a couple hours. And then by the time I get back, it's back. It's downloaded, ready to go. Until recently, I started noticing, at least monitoring and noticing, when we and we'll talk about it in a minute, but Generation Zero, we decided to play it, and so I was, thinking about downloading because it was free, quote unquote free from PlayStation Plus.
Right.
But when I went to download it and I put it on sleep mode and I left, when I came back there was an error and it made me delete it. And so I tried again, put it in rest mode. Again, there was an error, and so I came back and I set it up to download. And this time I watched it. And it did finish, but it took a little longer because, for those that don't know, if you do not put in rest mode, it is actually a slower download than if you have in regular. Again, depending on the game, it feels like. Because come to Baldur's Gate 3, where I was... where I wanted to download it because I wanted to actually make a character for a D&D game coming up and use it as a profile picture. So I started the download and I put it in rest mode, and I did the same thing I did before, but there was an error again. And this happened actually about 4 times before I finally gave up to start watching it, and it wouldn't do it. And then I put it in rest mode and it would do it again. So I decided to try some other trickeries. I thought maybe there was something with my PlayStation. I was looking up all sorts of things. So eventually I just gave up after trying multiple things and just went and downloaded it while it was on. And this is when I started timing it, and it was the same download speed whether it was in rest mode or not. So I was confused about this whole thing, and then it downloaded the entire game, and it was corrupt because it had stopped too many times. So I had to delete it again. And reinstall it from the ground up, and leaving my PlayStation on all night long to let the game download. This is the first time this has ever happened to me.
Yeah, it's really weird.
And so
I've never had that happen.
So I started talking to my brother, and he's on the same internet as me, and he's talked about that he's noticed the same thing, particularly with games that are over 100 gigs, and also games that are either AAA or versus indie games. So AAA games, no problems downloading. Indie games,
okay, yeah, that was
kind of problem. Yeah. So if I download like Diablo or Destiny, I've never had issues with it, but I have issues with this. This is the first time I've ever noticed, because I haven't really done a lot of like huge indie games, and both these games are not only very large, especially Baldur's Gate, but also independent. So,
like you were saying with like Generation Zero, like, which we played, like, in comparison to Baldur's Gate, it was like 20 minutes. It was not long at all. I'm probably really exaggerating that in terms of how short it was.
Yeah, it was a much shorter download, but it was also half the size.
Yeah,
so it's a much smaller game than Baldur's Gate.
So yeah,
but,
I don't remember how long Diablo took, so I can't say I can remember in comparison.
I remember you messaging us about this.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And so because of that, I didn't mention this when we played Generation Zero, but I purposely downloaded it on the PS4 because you said that. And there was a couple other reasons I did that, but that pushed me over the edge, right? Like first I just wanted to make sure my PlayStation was still working because I haven't turned my PS4 on since I had my PS5, and it's like, why do I have this sitting around?
Yeah.
You know, like if it's not still working. So I turned the jet engine on, and it, you know, it tried to take off, it tried to take flight, and I had to lock it down. But I downloaded it on the PS4, had to delete several games off of there. I even have a hard drive connected to the PS4. But yeah, with all the PlayStation Plus games, and dude, the deals, like the $5, $10 deals that I'm a sucker for those. As much as I complain about digital,
the deals are way better. Yeah,
I have a massive digital collection,
especially PlayStation recently. They've really taken the note from Steam, and they're every time one sale ends, another one begins.
Yeah,
it's like there's always things on sale, large portion sales too.
Yeah, and so and that, like, so games that like I'm on the fence about, that like I don't think I'd ever want to own that, but I want to try it. That's what I buy it for. So anyways, I downloaded it on the PS4, and I wanted to see if I could play with you guys with my PS4, like cross play, so to speak, because I knew you guys were playing on the PS5.
Cross-gen. It'd be cross-generation.
Okay, it would be cross-gen, sorry.
Yeah.
But anyways, it ended up working fine. I was quite surprised. I also didn't want to taint my new Spider-Man console with such an old crummy game.
Wow. I think it's only 3 years old, but yeah.
I know. No, it's got to be older than that. I have
it's older than that, but I have
a collector's edition.
It is an independent game. I know Tomas specifically doesn't play a lot of independent games.
No, I do not.
That was actually pretty good quality for an independent title.
I agree.
I mean, it wasn't amazing, but it was right in the right in the middle. Like I was saying when we were playing it,
I mean, I had
a lot of first-person survival games, and they all look very similar to that.
Yeah,
because they're usually independent.
I will say, like, I really didn't understand why we were doing a lot of what we were doing. It was just like, go do this, and it's like, okay, we're going to do this.
That was definitely a survival. It is definitely a survival game, but with a more of a story focus on it as well, which is interesting because The Forest is very similar to that, and that was another game when we were playing. I think I mentioned it because it played very similar to The Forest.
Yeah, you did.
And so I don't know. It was an enjoyable experience, and I look forward to getting further in it. The story is a bit generic, but I mean, I wasn't expecting amazing story anyways. I kind of, because it is watered down with the survival stuff, I kind of wish it had more of the stuff, because I thought kind of when you got some of the bases and things, it kind of made me want to make my own base. So I guess I got a little I guess it'd be cool. Lackluster, because I kind of felt that way. Because that's what I was trying when we were playing. I was like even trying to sell The Forest to you guys a little bit, because I did enjoy The Forest, and I was like, that would be really fun too. If you guys like this game, get ready for a much more horror focused middle of the woods. Avoid the cannibals.
I honestly have been curious about playing like a game like The Forest or something like that. So I mean, if you want to try, there was another one too, like Werewolf or
there's a sequel to The Forest too. There's I don't know. I haven't tried it yet. It just came out like this last year. But I own The Forest. If it's ever too stupid on sale, maybe I'll tell you guys.
Is it on console?
It is on console. I actually played it on my PS5 with a buddy of mine. I have a buddy that's really into not Chris, that's on the show, has been on the show, who's also into survival games. I have another buddy who's really into survival games as well, and he is the one who introduced The Forest to me, because we hadn't talked in a while, and so he just like randomly started talking to me about it, and so I picked it up. It was on sale. It was stupid cheap, and so we played together for a bit. So that's where I got into it.
Okay.
And it was very good, though. It's a very interesting game. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about Generation C.
No, we're not. So, you do have me interested, especially since Tomas said he would do it.
Yeah. I mean, because we're all not into that atmosphere, so it'd be kind of fun to see where we take it. Right. But Generation Zero. Why don't we? You were starting there, Kyle. Go for it.
I was going to say one of the things I thought it was lacking, because you mentioned something about lacking, and then maybe we could go into what we liked about it. But I was expecting way more mechs. We played for a good 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Ish. And I think we got into some of like the 2-foot walking mechs, but like I was expecting I don't think we fought like a boss.
I don't think
that was a little disappointing that we didn't even get to a boss and have to restart, so to speak, or figure out the weakness. And I thought for sure we were going to run into like a few of those. We ran into one that was downed, so it's kind of building this tension. And I get like if you're playing by yourself, like it's going to be a lot harder. But we had the squad, right? Which it's actually great when you have a couple buddies like we did to squad up like that. And
we were playing on adventure mode as well, just to let you know. We're like the lowest.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
so that probably didn't hurt.
Yeah, so if you're going solo and if you're playing on normal mode or whatever you want to call it, it's going to be way more difficult. But that being said, if we're playing on adventure mode, why didn't we run into a big mech yet? That kind of disappointed me.
Yeah, like for me personally, like disappointment wise, I mean, personally for me, it was a lot of the mechs, and maybe it's because we didn't progress as far as I thought we had in the amount of time that we did, but a lot of the mechs felt extremely repetitive for the amount of time that I felt like we put into it. Like we started to get into like the soldier mechs, which was cool, and I was totally down for that. And so maybe when we play again, we'll get further and we'll find these other cool mechs. I really loved the quickness that they gave us some new guns. I was a little frustrated with that rifle, like that kind of bugged me. Where like Alan was the only one who got the rifle.
And then we're like, dude, you're just using it wrong. It can't be that weak.
Yeah.
but he was right. It sucked.
Yeah, it's pretty weak. Yeah. I mean, but in terms of like playing with friends and stuff, yeah, it was fun. The controls at first definitely need to be turned down because I was super sensitive at first, if you remember.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, overall, it's fun. It's a fun concept idea of moving from base to base. But I wish like the challenge had started to ramp up a little bit, and maybe that was because we didn't put the difficulty up high enough. I don't know.
The challenge was fine. I wanted to see a cool boss. I didn't mind the weapons. Like it was lame that the rifle sucked. There's got to be, maybe you can upgrade it or something.
Yeah.
I didn't mind that because like it's survival, like Alan was saying. And that part was like, I can live with that, right? Like that's actually kind of fun. Like, oh, I got this rifle. Oh, but it sucks, right? So I got to keep looking. But it's definitely it's better than the pistol if you're doing long range, right?
Yeah, it is. It is.
So I like the balance of that. But maybe we could switch over to what we actually liked about it, because I think we're going to continue playing it if we don't pick up the forest. So I'll go. I think what I liked was I actually did like the story. It kind of just throws you in to like, hey, you guys, you were living your life and now it's kind of over. It's apocalypse and now you got to figure out how to survive, right? And I don't play the survival games, so to me this is kind of a little bit new, and I actually enjoyed the story. And the person you meet, like the hub person, she gets a little annoying, but I get she just has to be alive, so she's just gonna travel base to base to make sure she can talk. So I did enjoy the story a little bit.
Like for me personally, what I enjoyed, I mean, yes, I felt like the robots were getting a little repetitive there towards the end, but I liked a survival game that wasn't focused around zombies. Like, so many of these survival games are zombies survival games, and it's just like, well, I want something that's not zombies. And I know there are other games out there, but like for this price and stuff, there aren't that many.
No, that is pretty unique about this title and about the robots. I actually really enjoyed that as well. It is a unique look on a post-apocalyptic.
Actually,
world.
they're sentient beings. No, I'm just kidding. I have no idea.
Sentient beings?
Oh, that's Horizon Zero Dawn, right? That's,
yeah. I don't remember these ones being so sentient. But yeah, I liked that a lot. I thought the music was nice. You definitely could tell they were trying to go for. They really leaned into the Stranger Things because that's what I kept hearing. Is it was supposed to be something akin to Stranger Things, but with the robots. And I could see that. I could see that being there.
Okay, yeah. Now that you say it, I did not catch that though, to be honest. But yeah, I can see that now that you put that in my mind.
Yeah, they have like a synth soundtrack going on too if you listen to the music, so it definitely matches up with that. It was a good title. I really enjoy I enjoy the story as well. I kind of wish you got better guns, but that is, like I said, that is like you've said, it is kind of a trope.
Survival.
And for the survival games to start off with some lower weapons, and then eventually upgrade them or create your own weapons at some point.
I like that.
So it's kind of what they're leaning towards, which makes sense.
I like that in survival, right? Like if I'm playing Halo, though, like, you better give me the best gun right away. Like I'm not going to build that up. So
exactly. So, but I am enjoying it, and I can look forward to continuing on to see where far we can get. I would love to see if we can actually finish it, but we'll see if we get there before we just get bored of it.
That would be cool.
Was for free. It is, if you had PlayStation Plus, it is currently gone now. We have swapped over to a new set of 3 games. Yes, it's that time of the month. It's the first Tuesday, or yesterday was the first Tuesday, so it should have swapped.
Is that how they do it? Dude, I have no idea.
Yeah, it's the first Tuesday of the month.
I had no idea.
When it switches over.
Okay, Tomas, I'm calling you out. Now you know. We both know now.
Whatever, man. I still probably will only download games.
You could do it from your phone.
You don't even got to download them. You just do add to a library. I think there's an add to library button now.
Get the app, and just the first Tuesday of every month, you can put a reminder and be like, oh, let me add that to my library. That way, when Alan comes around and says we're going to play this game, you're like, oh yeah, I grabbed it. So
all right,
I'll call out tomorrow.
Next time Alan comes around and is like, we're gonna play this game, I'll be like, oh well, I did grab it, but my PlayStation caught on fire.
PlayStation's on fire, actively on fire right now. What a coincidence!
I have more in stock, so I could just bring it over. I could drop it off tomorrow.
You never get away from it. Yeah. Well, if we do get bored of this game, there's going to be a lot of games to choose for, since apparently spooky season is now the dump all the games out at the same time and hope people can keep up month.
Right.
So we have
Silent Hill is questionably absent.
Yeah.
What was it supposed to be out this month?
I don't know, but it should have been.
It's are
you talking about is it a remake? It's a remaster, right? The remaster of the second one again.
There's multiple ones coming out.
So many of them. Yeah, isn't there 2 of them?
There's a brand new one coming out, and there's a remaster. Yes.
Well, none of them are out this month.
It was supposed to come out last month, though. I know. I'm sorry. This is what I'm disappointed.
Yeah, it's fine.
It would have made sense, right?
We're all itching for another Silent Hill game, and yes, October would have been the perfect month to release a new at least new-ish Silent Hill title that we all could enjoy in the month of spooky October. But instead, I didn't really even see many horror games on the list, to be honest.
No, there really aren't.
So, yeah. I mean,
there's a couple, but not as many as you think.
Not as many as you think. Well, yeah, I guess you're
really?
Yeah, there is. There was the seventh SVR.
Dude,
is
I know we
horror
were going
game.
to talk about it, but that is a game from my childhood, which in VR would be a freaking trip, dude. Like
wait. Oh, seventh. Okay.
Yeah.
I've never played that, so I don't know what it's about.
I've never played it, but I've seen it played, and I've heard of it.
Oh, I played it.
Oh, and we are. That's right. We are talking about that as well, but that's not till the end of the month, and I feel like that's too late at that point. But Oh, we didn't even talk about it. Alan Wake 2 is coming out. That's what I was talking about. But
that was the
we
one.
have it on our list. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that one is on there. But I haven't played the first one, although the second one doesn't.
Well, you're in luck. You're in luck, Tomas, because a couple months ago they gave away Alan Wake in the PS Plus. Did you pick it up?
Oh boy!
No, I did, but my PlayStation got eaten by the dog.
Chewed it right up.
Yeah,
and you had to get a brand new one, and somehow he deleted your account while digesting.
Yeah, like it's a
just absorbed it.
Thing.
The stomach acid just
how it happens like that.
But yes,
that
was given away a while ago. But 2 is coming out this month. It is a fantastic title, at least the first one. I did play it. I actually played it while I was streaming a long time ago, and it was a fun title.
Did you really?
But that is not enough. Yeah, I actually beat the entire game while streaming.
It is an old for video games. It's an old game. It's a couple generations old.
Well,
it came out on Xbox 360. It was an exclusive.
In all the videos that I was seeing for this new Alan Wake, it's supposedly supposed to be like taking a much darker turn than what the other Alan Wakes have done. So that's actually kind of what caught my attention.
There's been only one other Alan Wake, and I don't remember it. It was pretty spooky, but it was definitely dark.
But this one looks like it's more of like a detective, kind of solve the mystery ish game. It's definitely going to be creepy, like the first one.
Yeah.
The other aspect of it, which is, aside from gameplay and story, is that this is, I don't know about the first, but it's a big title that is digital only. They are not producing any physical copies for this game.
Funny, you should say that. We found that out about Baldur's Gate 3, also digital only. So I mean. That threw me off too because my son wanted to buy it physically, but
that's why I mentioned it's not. I didn't want to say it's the first because I'm sure there's other ones, but this was the biggest one in my mind.
On your radar.
Yeah, I think it was announced before Baldur's Gate said it was
possibly,
but it's just a trend that I'm not a big fan of. It's just I just don't think you really own it digitally.
You really don't. It's a valid statement to say, is you don't really own it when you get it digitally, and there are rules being changed or laws, but at this time very slowly, if anything, because we've already had a couple games that were available that people bought and were just taken off the marketplace, never to be seen again, and so those people don't have access to it. I think it was specifically an Assassin's Creed game, if I remember correctly, that it happened with. But I'd have to look into it with Ubisoft.
We talked about it before about like just video games in general. I think 80% of them are not available to purchase in a legal way. So
but beyond going down that rabbit hole, we do have a couple games that at least we're excited for this month, even if we don't have the time to actually play them in our current.
Well, you could stay up till 2 a.m.
Yeah, I did that, and it was successful.
Your body is
it was good, right? If you feel good,
it still hasn't recovered.
You're refreshed.
Refreshed.
Your mind is focused.
You're ready to go.
Well, good thing it is, because we are very focused on the Spider-Man game, which is coming out this month with Venom as the villain and the 19-inch statue.
Whoa. Hold on, you're forgetting about Kraven. Kraven's also the villain.
No one cares about Kraven.
I'm going with Alan on this one, dude. Like, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a nice little side story to fill up the time, make it feel like a full game. But come on, Venom is the.
There's going to be a lot. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of villains, but Venom is definitely the highlight. There's no doubt about it. I mean, that was the first person they showed off. They got the symbiote suit, which looks fantastic.
And like you said, the 19-inch statue. I do want that statue. I really do.
Are you planning on getting the collector's edition?
No, I'm maybe if I ever come across the statue by itself, I'll buy it. But
I think the statues. I guess it depends. Sometimes they get cheaper. Sometimes they get more expensive. It's going to depend on how much they put out.
You can find it on eBay. That's what I'm saying. You find someone that's just like looking to move it.
Yeah.
couple years from now, because like really, like if I buy the statue right now, it's just going to collect dust. But if I wait 2 years, then I could buy it for cheaper and then let it collect dust.
And let it collect dust, but not feel as bad.
Yeah, but save a few bucks.
Yeah. But it is coming out. I know we're all excited for it. Is anybody planning on grabbing it at launch immediately?
I probably will.
I already have it. If you didn't hear me say, I have the Spider-Man PlayStation.
You do have, so you both do.
Well, no, I don't have it yet. Like
sorry, you're both getting it or have it. You're both are ready to swing in the larger New York City.
Oh, that's the first day I'm just swinging. I'm not even going to play the story. Just swinging around.
The important question is fall damage on or off?
Oh, on. Yeah, there's got to be.
I feel like it needs to be on because it's not
really.
Yeah, I don't play games anymore. I have decided I put it on. The last couple games I've played, I put it on the easiest setting, and I just go through the game. And I've had so much fun with those last couple games I've been playing with that. Honestly, is just my new immediately motion going forward is put it on the easiest setting and just go have fun with it.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not against that.
I can respect it. Yeah, I can respect it.
But for Spider-Man, I need repercussions for my ballsy moves when I'm swinging around the city. Like I need to be taken out when I make a stupid move.
Like I don't know if it's that Dark Souls broke me or what it is, unless a game kind of can put me on that edge, like Baldur's Gate struggles a lot of the time. It's just a lot of the time I'm really invested in the story, but I really like that being put on the edge, and I've found myself turning up difficulties on games. I mean, hell, I played Diablo on hardcore for months.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm definitely probably going to turn on the fall damage.
The other thing is which costume, and I'm sure there's info on which costumes they're going to have, but that sold it for me on the first one when I got to play as the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man for a good portion.
Yeah.
And, I wore all of them. I went through the gamut of it.
I went through all of them. Yeah,
the Tobey Maguire one was like the main one for me. So which one are you guys like? If there was one you wanted that
I think
would solidify the deal.
I think the one that I went through on the first game was the black and white one. It's not Venom.
Oh well, that one's going to be on there for sure.
Yeah, but I went through that one. I really liked it. And then the second one with Miles Morales, I just did his normal black-red because I actually really like that one. Although I do like the hoodie one also with Miles.
Really?
So,
I don't like the hoodie one.
I like it.
I like the hoodie one. I don't like the hoodie ones either because it doesn't seem functional and it bothers me because whenever I walk around and I have a hoodie on, I feel like I'm destroying my peripherals and it bothers me.
Yeah, you want it.
Are you superhero with them?
Yeah, you want functionality when you have Spidey sense.
Gotta make sure you never know when somebody's gonna sneak up on you, so you don't want to wear that hood.
Yeah, and the man bit by a radioactive spider, but damn, you want your functionality and clothing.
You know which one I didn't like was the Spider-Punk. I thought I would, but I just couldn't do it.
I thought I'd get down with it too, but it's too spiky to me.
Functionality again, right? Like, come on.
Yeah, there's one where I guess functionality applies for me because I was like, this is ridiculous.
No one's wearing this around.
That's probably the one I will use the most.
Was it really?
I think probably. So. That one and Tobey Maguire. I am excited for the black Tobey Maguire that's showing up in this one because of the Venom stuff, which is cool. I mean, I like Spider-Man 3. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's the best movie ever made, but I still enjoy it. I think it's decent for what it is.
At least they trilogy.
Hey, if you own up to it, it's fine.
Yeah,
I like the third Ninja Turtles.
We all sin.
Have our sins.
We all sin. Everyone sins.
So.
Return of the Jedi is my favorite.
I've said the third Ninja Turtles. I've said my piece that it is fine.
No, I agreed with you on it too.
It's fine. It's nowhere near the other two. That's
the first one. But we're not going to argue with this with you. I made my stance.
Turtles. Bring it back. No,
just move on. I would love to debate the Turtles movies, but every debate ends up with everybody living the exact same way anyways. For the most part. But Spider-Man's going to have some competition because your plumber boy is coming out, and he is coming out with a new game called Super Mario Wonder. Both plumbers, Daisy, Peach, Yoshi.
Wait, what?
Wait, are you saying Spider-Man's also a plumber? Or are you saying that?
I was saying Mario and Luigi, but you know what? I don't know what Spider-Man does in his off time because he's a terrible journalist.
Well, he's also a scientist. You didn't mention Luigi. You said Mario, and you went to like Peach and Daisy.
I said the two plumbers because we have player one and player two.
Okay, I see what you were saying. All right.
And so sometimes it takes a minute to digest. I understand.
I'm slow.
Well, you talk on such another level, Alan.
It is hard to keep up with me. No more praises. I don't want to just sit here and absorb the praises this evening. But we do have Super Mario Wonder and Spider-Man releasing on the exact same day. Two separate consoles, both exclusives. So that is definitely a thing.
You mentioned Nintendo was gutsy for it, meaning that
I think so.
I think Spider-Man's bigger.
So I do not think it's bigger, and the main reason is because there's more Switches sold, if I remember correctly, than PS5s. So, and also, see, Spider-Man is nice for the people that are into Spider-Man, whereas I think Mario kind of encompasses almost anybody who really is passionate about video games. For the most part. I mean, there are the outliers like Tomas, but for the most part, when people are, claim to be really into video games, they usually have some sort of passion for Nintendo games, and Mario is usually right up there. And you don't have children or kids, and that's another bonus. That's another thing that this game is a family game for sure. It's like a 4-player.
Fair. I'll give you the thing about kids, but I will have you know, growing up, I had the NES, I had the Super NES, and I played Mario.
And at what point did you say, I don't like that part of me anymore? I am moving on. This is Andy with the new toys. Like, I don't want to play with you anymore.
If I remember correctly, it was Xbox. The Xbox 360?
It was kind of Xbox. It was kind of Xbox that killed it for me.
But then, then PlayStation
don't have to revolve around a plumber? Well, moving on with my life. But the thing is, boss, you always need a plumber. So just to let you know, you always need a plumber. You don't always need a Spider-Man. You need a plumber.
Well, here's the thing. If we're going based off this podcast's statistics, 3 out of 3 are excited for Spider-Man, and 2 out of 3 are excited for Mario Bros. So, and like I want to reiterate here, this podcast, that's pretty much science. So Spider-Man is the more popular game if we're going off that. However, if we're going off numbers, Alan, you are correct. The Switch household or Switch, console to household numbers, Switch is in the lead. And I did a poll on my earlier stream today on Whatnot. I did a poll of what you're more excited for, and it was almost unanimous that Super Mario Bros. Wonder. It was like, not even close, actually.
Really?
And I was surprised. I thought it was going to be close, right? I thought Spider-Man would edge it out, but it wasn't even close. Like, everybody.
Wow.
And now,
all right, fair enough.
I'm selling to retro gamers. They're coming in. It was a Nintendo stream. Okay, to be fair, I sold all Nintendo games, so it was a little biased. I still thought people were going to be excited for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Because, gosh, like, I'm more excited for Spider-Man than I am for Mario Bros.
I clearly am.
Well, you are, but what about you? What about Alan? Like, which one is, like, if you had to choose, Alan?
Yeah, if you could only get one.
I would love to sit here and tell you that I am more excited for Super Mario Brothers just to be an outlier. But no, I would probably agree that I personally am more excited for Spider-Man.
Okay, cool. Let me ask you this though: if it was Mario Odyssey 2, would that change things? If it was Odyssey and not
a third? Okay, so no, I don't think it would. To be completely honest, I love Mario games, but I have to be in the mood for them. And at this time, I'm not like really interested in playing a Mario game. And this particular one sounds like a successor to the new Super Mario Brothers games. I think they're trying to do like a new. What's that one more time?
Yeah, no, I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah. So, but they are definitely trying to go beyond just being a new Super Mario. They're trying to make a new game in the side-scrolling style.
Which
looks fantastic with a new voice, which I understand. I don't remember the guy's name right now. I'm proud of what he's accomplished with the character, but it's not that big of a deal. To be completely honest, his voice, it's fine. His voice is fine. That's not what got me to play the game, and that's not like it's not going to make a big deal to me. They changed it,
but it's going to be different though. Charles.
Is it going to be different? I guess I haven't heard the side-by-side voice, but I really don't think it's going to, because I almost guarantee they got somebody that is going to imitate the same voice.
Or AI. Or a little bit of both.
Is it AI?
I don't know.
Is that a thing, or is this just like a conspiracy you're coming up with?
No, it's just an idea. Like why not both? Why not use someone's voice and mix it with AI and use the million samples they have?
So, I will say I am against that. I don't like that idea at all.
I don't like that either. But I'm just saying.
At least somebody should be doing the voice, and somebody should be getting paid for it. I don't really like that they would cut corners like that. And I
don't either.
It's just getting a weird territory. So I wouldn't like that either.
Well, I mean, the thing is too, is like, I mean, at least for me, I don't know about you guys, but when I saw the Mario movie here at my house, I didn't go to theaters yet, but I did see it at my house.
Same.
I was entertained. It didn't, honestly, Donkey Kong's voice drove me more over the edge than Mario's voice, only because I don't know why, but Seth Rogen, like, I can take him lately in very small doses.
Wow, you can take him, huh? That's an interesting thing to call out right now.
You know what I mean. All right, that But like, anyways, so like, I feel like the game is probably gonna just be like the movie, isn't it? It's just gonna evolve.
No, they're not getting Chris Pratt. No, they.
Well, not like that, but it's gonna evolve.
I feel like
the voice will change. Like
it potentially, I still feel like they're just gonna imitate the original voice because I think that's what most people are used to, and that is definitely Nintendo leans into as comfort food.
I hope so. I hope they just get a new actor, and someone that can, because the Charles Martinet is getting up there in age, and so I hope they just get a new actor. But like, if we're being honest, and we don't have to go into this, AI is a new thing, and
I know
Darth Vader's voice is going to be alive forever because of AI.
Yep, James Earl Jones did sell the rights to Disney for his voice. It's becoming increasingly more common. There's been a couple other actors, I don't have them on the top of my head, that have done similar deals. Usually actors that have gotten way up in the ears but are well known, and so they're basically making a large sum of money for generational wealth.
Yeah,
purposes.
They're setting their families up for forever, and so it's a possibility. I'm not trying to get grim. I'm just saying it might be a thing. It is going to be honestly, it's going to be adjustment for me because those little things I notice. For me, and this guy's been voicing it since even before Mario 64.
Yes,
and so that's my childhood all the way up until now, and so I do notice those things, and it's a 2D, like going back to the game and the gameplay and overall game. It's a 2D side scroller. I don't know, but do we call it 2D anymore? It's a side scroller.
Yeah,
I think it's 2.5 at this point.
Yeah, okay,
is what it's supposed to be called. Yeah,
For me, if it was Mario Odyssey 2, I'd be more excited for this than Spider-Man because I think Odyssey is a better game.
Odyssey is fantastic. There's no denying that for sure.
So, but like the voice aside, I'm more excited for Spider-Man just because, dude, you get to swing through the city. Like that alone is better than turning into an elephant.
I mean, okay, so like my thing with Spider-Man was I'm not a huge Spider-Man fan. I enjoy. It's like Seth Rogen for me. I can take him, Alan, in small doses.
I mean, I wouldn't go around saying that. I mean, Seth Rogen's going to get pretty angry. Who is this guy? I think he can take me.
Or does... Oh, I see. I thought Tomas was the one taking it.
Oh, no, whoa.
I see. Well, I guess this could be an offer and not just not a challenge.
Anyways, but that is one thing that did really sell me on the Spider-Man was just the mobility through the city was absolutely incredible. It felt you could feel yourself pulling through those skyscrapers.
No, you're right. Really I can't wait to do that again. Before we move on, and this maybe I'm opening a can of worms. I want to do it. What are you guys' thoughts about them changing the appearance of Peter Parker? Because they've already done it. Like if you updated the first Spider-Man game, he looks more like Tom
Holland.
Oh, okay.
He looks more like him than he did originally. And he'll probably do that again.
Well, isn't that just marketing though? You put someone famous on it,
but
buy it.
I just think it's weird. I think it's like the voice thing.
I don't necessarily disagree with you on the fact that it's weird. To me, it's weird that big name actors and actresses try and sell cologne and perfume. Like that doesn't.
Well, to be fair, what Kyle is stating is that this character is not Tom Holland. They did not get Tom Holland's likeness. They just created their character to be more like what he looks like.
No, I don't think that's fair either. But
because originally they did use a voice actor for the appearance of Peter Parker.
I thought it was perfect.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is I don't necessarily agree with it, but I do understand the idea. If not using it directly, then using someone that looks similar, because that's going to pull in the fan base.
Yeah, I get that too.
Pull in the fan base, you pull in sales.
I just think it's.
I think it's like extra.
It's like extra work that is unnecessary.
Yeah,
I agree with you, Kyle. The simple fact that it was unnecessary. I don't think the Spider-Man games needed it. Yeah. I don't think anybody was like not playing the Spider-Man games because when they got into it and they saw it didn't look like Tom Holland, they're like, "Oh, that's not Peter Parker," and they put down their controller and delete it. But
hey, so I just think
it was unnecessary, and there was an actor involved who kind of got written out of the game in a way. I mean, his voice was there, but his appearance was there, which not a lot of voice actors get that privilege. So it was something he got, and then it was taken away, which sucks. But on the same note, I didn't even notice. Like I played it, and then I went back to it, and honestly, I didn't like. Yeah, I didn't. I knew about the articles and stuff, and I wasn't looking for it at the time. But it didn't like stick out to me or anything. I wasn't like, oh my god, he looks weird. Nah, it was just Peter Parker, whatever.
I didn't even honestly know about it until you guys are telling me about it right now.
Here's the adverse effect. I did not go back. I haven't played Miles Morales because of that.
Oh wow.
I'm going to play Miles Morales because
I would think isn't it like because it's technically Spider-Man 1.5, right? It's like it's the middle between sequel, 1 and 2.
It's not a sequel.
But it's
like Batman Origins was for the Arkham series. Like
it's also a Christmas game too. Which is good.
Yeah, I'm gonna play it. But my point is, like Alan, you said like no one deleted the game because they're like, oh, this doesn't look like Tom Holland. But because they did that, like went out of their way to do that, it like I was put off by it, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna put that game on timeout. And now that the second one's coming out, I'm going to go back and play it. Miles Morales and pick it back up, but it actually had an adverse effect. So my point is, like, because they did that, it actually turned me off from going back and playing again, or purchasing anything new in it or whatever. So
well, here's my question to you guys then. If you we're talking about all this, and it's something that actually popped into my head as you were talking about all this, is, so let's say, for example, Batman from the Arkhamverse, right?
Yeah.
I don't think he looks like any of the Batmans that have ever been portrayed, close to. I don't think he's particularly looks like Keaton. I don't think he particularly looks like Bale. I don't think he particularly... You see what I'm saying? So right. I feel like there is precedent for making your superhero not look like the actor that portrays them.
Yeah.
But in this day and age, Arkham was made how far back? In this day and age, with all social media and stuff like that, in this day and age with the massive boom in social media and things like that, I mean, I just think, again, it's a marketing scheme, and yes, I don't agree with it, but whether I agree with it or not, I can see why the marketers are saying, hey, put someone famous that will get sales.
I get that, but would you want to go back to Batman Arkham if they were like, hey, he looks like George Clooney now? And that's probably the worst one. I picked that on purpose.
I would immediately download that game if they said it looks like George Clooney now. I'd be like, I need to go through this game now.
How about Pattinson then, the most recent one?
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Really, I don't like the most recent.
I love Pattinson.
But forced you. But it wasn't a choice, right? It wasn't like a costume. It was like, hey, this is what he looks like now. I would be upset.
I agree.
Because the Arkham Batman grew on me at this point.
Yeah.
So
I've agreed with you the entire time. I don't. Yeah, I think it was a bad idea. It was kind of bad practice, and
it's just weird.
It's neither here nor there. It is a bizarre move, but I mean. Nobody really seems to care anymore. It was a big deal when it happened, but as with most things that the social media blows up about, it kind of fell off, and it didn't change. Nothing happened, and it is what it is. I will say, I don't think Peter Parker's ever in any of the promotional material anyways. So that's another thing that's like, okay,
I would agree with you on that, but I would...
It's always just Spider-Man with his mask on.
Yeah.
As it should be.
But I agree. But we have a couple more games, including I think we started talking about Super Mario a little bit there before we went back to Spider-Man. Are you guys
never heard of it?
Yeah, so this new Mario guy, I think he came out with this new movie that popped up. But I guess the movie is getting a game. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm going to get it probably, to be honest, because I know my family will play it, and it's a game we could play together. So I'm actually probably planning on grabbing it.
Here's my debate. I have a second of the coupons, which we've talked about before. I keep
meaning to grab one of those, but I haven't found two games I want. But continue.
I think it applies to that
it does.
one. So I think I have one more. I forgot what the first one was. Probably Tears of the Kingdom. I think I grabbed,
which is smart.
Yeah,
so I had my son do that because it was 70 instead of 60.
It's technically $20 off. Yeah. So I think the second one's going to be this one because, and I'm going to get a little ahead of ourselves, Super Mario RPG comes out in November.
Yeah.
And I'm going to buy that physical because I will replay that game. Well, I don't know. I replayed the first one on Super NES 3 or 4 times. I've beaten that game 3 or 4 times. I think that's a game I want to get physical. So I think I'm going to use my digital coupon for Wonder so that we could all play together. I would love to. I mean, Tomas is never going to get it, but I would love to play with you guys.
Is it going to have online multiplayer?
I better. I mean, what day and age are we living in?
This is the same company who has released multiple games without online multiplayer. I mean, Pikmin just came out without online multiplayer.
Yeah, but
it has
Mario Kart's online, Mario Party's online.
Mario Party's online.
Smash Bros is online, and this
was the last Super Mario Wii. Super Mario the Wii U Deluxe, was that online? Did that have online?
I mean, we're going to talk about a Wii U game. I don't know.
No, it was the one on Switch. Sorry, it was ported to the Switch.
but at the same time, it was a port, so like I give that one a pass because it was just, you know what I mean. And that being said, that's like almost a 10-year-old game now, so it's been at least 8 years since we've had that kind of a Mario game, right? If they don't have it, that's a point off for me for Nintendo. I haven't looked into
just
it.
To let you know, in this article by Nintendo Life on Thursday, 31st of August, this is stating that Super Mario Bros. Wonder online multiplayer revealed, no online co-op.
Okay, so does that mean there's versus or?
I don't know. That's just what it says. I'd have to read the entire article, but that's what it's saying.
Okay, well, I'm just saying that's a point off, and I probably won't get it then because that doesn't make any damn sense to me. At this point,
I agree. I would love to do it, but I don't know.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't want any more side-scrolling Mario games. I want Mario RPG and I want Mario Odyssey. So this will be fun. I'll pick it up, maybe digitally, if it's online. If not, I'll wait till it's on. I can find a deal for $30 or cheaper. That's disappointing to hear that. I did not. I just expected it because, come on, at this point in time, if it's what are you doing?
Yeah, I would think that at this point you would just kind of build your games to go online.
Never expect anything from Nintendo. Anyways,
you're right. You are right.
I'm excited for it. I'll probably get it. I'll be playing with my son and my wife. Probably it'll be fun. But we have a Souls-like Lords of the Fallen that I didn't even know existed until about a week ago. So one of you guys can take over.
I mean, I'm excited for it. Lords of the Fallen. It's apparently a remaster or the second one, because there wasn't one before this. And I never beat that one. I got like halfway through it and then I just got stuck on a boss. But that one I did get on the PlayStation Network, Alan.
Wait, which one?
The first Lords of the Fallen. So.
Oh, wait, it's a sequel? I'm over here like, wait, what? I didn't know this at all.
It's a sequel or like a full-blown?
It's a remaster, I think. I think it's a remaster. Because the first one was
it's a remaster. Wait, how old is the first one?
4, maybe 5 years old.
And now it's getting I mean, I guess in this day and age, I can't really expect anything, but really a remaster.
Yeah.
Now, I'm gonna have to look into this a little bit. I'm not gonna do it right now, but I'm gonna look into this because I'm curious to see what this is all about. Because this is weird.
I mean, I'm excited for it. I'm getting it. A friend of ours is getting it as well. I think Kyle's getting it as well. So
yes, I will be. I
hope you guys enjoy it. Yeah, it looked okay, but it's just another Souls-like to me. So I'm just kind of like, right now on Souls-like.
Alan, you give it 3 months. It's going to be on PlayStation Plus, and then
I'm sure.
If it's because every game I buy comes on PlayStation Plus, and so if it's really that good, you'll grab it and we'll play it together. So
yeah, if it's that good and you guys are like, hey, grab it, and I'm like, okay, and I'll go look at Black Friday or something, and it'll be stupid cheap, and then I'll be like, okay, well, I got it, and then nobody will play with me, and it'll just sit there. Anyways, so we have one more. That checks. We got one more game that we want to talk about from this massive list, which we primarily use an article from Verge. So if you want to look at that article for the list of games. So, but one of the games is the Hellboy game we've actually talked about on this show before. So why don't you take over, Kyle, with this last game?
Yes, thank you. It is called Hellboy Web of Word with a WYRD. It is our first Hellboy game since the 360 PS3 era. And prior to that, there was a Hellboy game on the PS1 and PC, which was atrocious. It was
that was one thing we've talked about before. Is you said that you can't find any good Hellboy games.
Asylum Seeker, the 360 one, the 360 PS3 one was okay. Silence of Evil. It was co-op. It was it was like a generic action adventure co-op run and gun linear. It was okay. It definitely was better than the PS1 game, where he looked like a refrigerator with arms, a red refrigerator with arms walking around. This one looks like the comic, like it's cel shaded. It looks like the original animation finally. So I'm really excited for that. The only thing is, and I was excited for it at first, but Lance, what's his name? I want to say Reddick is the voice of it. I was excited for him at first, but I heard a trailer for it. Yeah, Lance Reddick, and it might just be me, but I have Ron Perlman's voice stuck in my head as Hellboy so much that to hear Hellboy voiced by anybody else has just been throwing me off. So the game looks fun. The game looks incredible because it looks like the comic book come to life. Finally,
nice.
My only, yeah, right. Like finally, just looks like the comic.
Yeah.
Why did it take so long?
Yeah, I almost want to get it too because you seem to be excited for it, and it does look good. I've seen bits of footage. It looks interesting, and I do like a good indie game, and I'm pretty sure it's probably developed by an independent studio because it's Hellboy.
It is, and
so I'm excited for that. And I've never disliked Hellboy. I haven't looked into him as much as you have. I loved the movies because they are with Ron Perlman. They are fantastic films, both of them. And I've been enjoying. I always enjoy hearing you nerding out over Hellboy. So I'm curious to see how well this is. I really hope it's good. So
I love the dichotomy of Hellboy, right? I love that he is born like half demon, half human, but he wants to do good, right? Like his instinctual nature is to be evil, and he has the power. Like he has super strength. He has a freaking stone fist that could just wreck any building or any human. But his part of him wants to do good because he was raised by a good person. I love that dichotomy. And so I've always loved Hellboy. I love the comics, the books, his look, right? Just super unique, right? Like what superhero has just a giant iron hand that's not functional at all, but at the same time he uses a giant revolver in his other hand, right? And so, and then he shaves his horn because he wants to fit in. He doesn't want to be a demon. He wants to be human. My other hesitation is that it's just going to be a generic run-of-the-mill like hack and slash game with a good voice actor, which is what Science of Evil was, right? Like it was fun, but it was just, it was co-op, which was great, but at the same time it was like, okay.
The way you're describing that, it reminds me of X-Men Destiny that came out that I loved, absolutely loved. But God, I beat the crap out of that game multiple times. I have no idea why. It is awful. There was so many problems with that game, and when I look at the reviews afterwards, I was like, I can't. I knew it was bad, but I was going. I know this is bad, but at the same time, it was like a weird guilty pleasure as I was going through it. I was enjoying it, and I only think I got like 25 hours out of it, but still. But anyways, that's what
It's funny.
It reminded me of. Yeah,
I remember. I think Tomas and I were living together at that point, and he got it, and I was excited, and he was like, not worth it. Don't get it.
It was bad, but it still worked. Like unfortunately, the game still functioned.
I beat it, but I don't think I beat it more than once.
Oh, I platinumed it. I think I still have the platinum on my account somehow. So that game was functional. It was functional enough.
Oh yeah, it was functional, but it got so review bombed. It was so bad.
Oh, it did. That's and I can understand it when I looked at it because it was. They were talking it up. It was supposed to be a game where you got to make your own mutant, and it was going to be you got to be with the X-Men, and it kind of did that, but kinda, not really.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for letting me talk about Hellboy because that is number one on my list. And you know what's funny is I can't even pre-order it. They're like,
because it's just
one of those. It's that indie where it's like. Yeah, it's coming out. Like the PS5 has it on its list, but it's like, but just wait. Like, there's no rush, dude. It's fine. You're gonna get the game, and so
there will be copies.
With tempering your expectations, what rating out of 10 would you be happy with this game could achieve?
Oh, I would be over the moon if it got 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10 is a solid C game.
Yeah,
that would be.
Oh yeah, I would be over the moon because the first one is just an F. It's just I've played it multiple times and I can't beat it. It's so bad. It's so buggy. I can't even beat it with a guide. It's so bad. The second one is a D. It it's like slightly better, but it's still just not. It's like So yeah, you're right. If it got a solid 70, if it got a C,
yeah,
I would be over the moon, and I would probably play it multiple times.
Good. Right. Well, I'm glad to hear. Does it have multiplayer or something, or just a single player, or do you not?
I don't even know.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll find out. I guess we'll leave that into the mystery of the game that's coming out this month.
True.
All right. Well, I'm very happy you guys could join me today, and for any listeners, I'm happy you joined us as well. And we will see you in hopefully 2 weeks. We do have some vacation stuff coming up soon, but we will try to keep everybody notified on either our Discord or Twitter on when we'll be taking breaks. So until in 2 weeks from now, we will see you then. Later.
Bye.
Bye.